Hi everyone, it's Nicole here from Sydney English Teacher and from the Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher. And I'm back with episode 22 of my Question of the Day series on my Facebook page, Sydney English Teacher, and on my YouTube channel, The Successful English Learner by Sydney English Teacher. Thank you so much for joining me. We have a really good topic to talk about today. And the topic is all about pronunciation. The question is, will I ever fully lose my accent? And again, this is a question that worries most people. You know, when you're learning English as a second language, um, your own accent, your mother tongue, will always interfere. And obviously, when you speak English, you will sound the same as you do when you speak your own language. You don't sound or won't sound like an American or a British person, a Canadian, an Australian, someone from New Zealand, etc. So I'm here to talk a little bit more about this interesting topic and to give you a better understanding about why you will never lose your accent and what you can do personally to, what should I say, improve your accent, to make it less strong, I suppose, and less influenced by your native language. Are you ready? Let's have a look together. The first thing I'd like to say is never forget this. Your accent is part of you. It's part of who you are. You will never fully eliminate your accent, and you shouldn't have to, okay? It's your voice. It's what you sound like. So why change the thing that makes you you? What you sound like in your own language is your voice in English as well. So don't ever forget that, okay? The way you sound in your own language is how you'll sound in English because that is your voice. You don't want to be an actor or an actress and be someone completely different. Unless you learn English under the age of 7, okay? Before the age of 7, you won't ever fully lose your accent. Okay, the only way to fully lose your accent is if you learn under the age of 7, if you learn English and are surrounded by English as a child, as a young child. So you'll never fully lose your accent or sound like an American or a British person or an Australian. But why would you want to? Because your voice is your identity. Be aware of that, okay? Moving on and talking in a little bit more detail about what you can do. Instead of focusing on losing your accent, let's change the way you think and instead let's focus on neutralizing your accent. So neutralize it, don't lose it. You can make your accent more neutral, okay? So that people don't immediately pick up where you come from whenever you open your mouth. You know, has that happened to you before? You open your mouth and you say something, and people say, "Oh, are you French?" Or, "Oh, are you Chinese? Oh, you must be Italian." And you haven't spoken your own language, you know, you've been speaking English. But obviously, the way you sound for them sounds like that language. So your job is to focus on neutralizing that accent so that they don't immediately know what your mother tongue is or where you come from. How can I neutralize my accent, you ask? Well, this can be done by speaking more slowly, by learning the English sound system and obviously using it, and by not comparing the English sounds to your own, by not comparing the English language to your own. So, neutralization is the goal. Okay, not elimination. Next, I also want you to change the way you think. And from now on, think about accent reduction instead of losing your accent. So, accent reduction is a much better way of looking at it, okay? Over the years, with daily practice and with dedication, with focus, you can reduce your accent when you speak English. You can make your accent less strong or less obvious, okay? You can sound a little more like a native speaker, but obviously with your own voice, with your own identity, because that will always creep in. You know, you are you. You will never change who you are and how you sound. So, you know, your own voice, your own identity will always creep in. If it's not for the whole sentence, then it's for particular words or particular sounds. So you can change your accent, but you cannot lose it fully. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You will never sound 100% like an American, an Australian, a British person, etc. Because you are you, and your accent will always creep in. However, the more you work on reducing that accent and replacing those native sounds of your own language with the real correct sounds and stress and linking patterns of the English language, then the more neutral you will sound. And that's a great goal. Number 4, it's really important for you to learn the technical aspects of pronunciation. You know, many people make the mistake and they think pronunciation is just copying what you hear. Well, if you just copy what you hear and you don't have the background knowledge of how to form the sounds in English, well, you're going to automatically use your own sounds from your own language. And you're basically setting yourself up for failure from the very beginning because you're learning the mistakes. You're learning from the beginning when you learn a new word, you're learning to pronounce it your own way, the way of your own language. And we don't want that. Okay. So if you learn the background, the technical aspect of pronunciation in English, it will really, really, really help you. You know, learn the individual sounds. There's 44. Learn how to form them precisely. You know what exactly to do with your mouth. Learn about stress and beat and rhythm and learn how to make a more natural pattern when you speak. Learn about linking and connecting the words and the sounds together to sound more natural. Your pronunciation and your accent reduction is much more than just sounds. It's much more than replacing the sounds of your own language with those in English. You know, think of the big picture. It's not just sounds, it's patterns. Stress, linking intonation, rhythm, all of these things that go together that are the technical aspect of pronunciation. And as I said before, all of this background knowledge and using it will lead you on the correct road to accent reduction and neutralization. And that's what we want. So, a quick revision here of the key points that I want you to remember from today's episode. Number one, never forget that your accent is who you are. You will never fully eliminate or lose your accent because it's you. You know, it's your voice, it's your identity. You don't want to change that and become a different person. Number two, aim to neutralize your accent instead of losing it. You know, making your accent more neutral so that people don't immediately guess where you come from. That's a huge bonus. And it's a great way for you to be more confident in your pronunciation and speaking skills as well. Number three, think of it as accent reduction, as reducing that accent instead of losing it. You know, your accent over time with daily practice and with a focus on pronunciation will become less strong. You know, you will reduce that accent if you focus on it. That's really, really important to remember. And number four, learn the background to pronunciation. Learn the technical aspect. It might sound really boring, but believe me, it's a bit of a shortcut to pronunciation and speaking success. So know the technical aspects and how to implement them. And as I said, you will reduce that accent. You will sound more neutral and natural. And having said that, you'll also be a lot more confident when you do open your mouth and speak. A quick bonus tip from me: don't be too hard on yourself, okay? I know it's really, really difficult, okay, to hear your own improvement in pronunciation. It's hard to really listen to yourself and when you speak because you're thinking about so many other things. You're thinking about the words, the grammar, what you sound like, what you want to say next, what the person who's listening might be thinking. You know, it's really difficult for you to focus in on how you sound and focus in on your pronunciation and to hear an improvement by yourself. So don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, take the feedback that you get from other people, whether it's good or bad feedback, you know, take all of it and use that feedback to help you make improvements along your pronunciation journey. You know, don't what should I say, think, oh, I sound horrible, oh, I can't hear my voice anymore. Instead, ask people for feedback, you know, and ask them, what do I sound like? Is it easier to understand me now than it was 3 or 6 months ago? Use the feedback you get from them to, number one, focus you, but number two, to keep you motivated and boost your confidence to continue learning and focusing as much as possible on pronunciation. So, if you have any questions about pronunciation, accent reduction, today's topic, or anything else, please get in touch. You can visit my website and get in touch there via the Ask a Question form. You can message me on Messenger. You can send me an email. You can even ask a question in the comments section below. I'd be more than happy to add your question to a future episode and to answer it in detail for you. So please get in touch. If you enjoyed today's episode and you enjoy learning with me, well, come and join my learning community. We've got thousands of people from all over the world who learn with me every day on my Facebook page, in my Facebook group and over on my YouTube channel, as well as on my website and my blog. I'd love for you to be one of these people too. So come and join me. And if you really love learning with me and want to learn even more, then visit my learning library and my online courses as well. I'd like to say a big thank you for joining me today for episode 22. If you enjoyed it and you feel that it is useful for you, then please share it with other people as well, with your family and friends, and they might benefit as well. Thank you so very much. I wish you all a wonderful day and come back